Hi guys, this is a happy NaNoWriMo video. My NaNoWriMo is not happy today. This is a madhouse. We're having such a Monday today. Everyone is aggravating me and I can't write. But that's how it is sometimes and you just have to go through it with these aggravating children. Just joking. Happy Veterans Day. Happy 11/11. Make a wish. I wish that I was done with NaNoWriMo. Aha. But here's a quick tour of my writing books in my writing book collection for Kindle on my PC, the ones that I keep on my PC. And these are ones that I've got since last NaNoWriMo, which was a year ago. And what I do is I get a writing book, I read it for either inspiration, writing prompts, or just the fact that someone is talking about writing makes me want to write. I don't sit and read the whole book. I stretch it out. I read a little bit until I feel like writing or until it jogs a scene. You know, if I'm reading something that's going to make me think of a scene, I will stop and click over to Scrivener and start writing. And that's how I use writing books as prompts. That way it's not like a, I don't want to use, what is the word, extemporaneous prompt, you know, where it's just really random, a random prompt, where it's like you went to get a puppy or something like that. You know, I don't use random prompts. I use ones that come out of writing books. That way they're very general and I can apply them to my story easier versus the NaNoWriMo style of prompt where it's just like, I have used those before during word sprints last year, but for the rest of the year I wanted something that can actually apply to my story without adding in a plot bunny or something random. So I used writing books for that. And like I said, during Word Wars and Nano, I did use the random prompts that the people leading the Nano sprints. If you want to do Word Wars, follow NaNoWriMo Sprints, I think it's called, on Twitter, and they will give you prompts. And sometimes they're very silly, and you just use them and it works out. But this is more of like if you want a prompt to help you with your, you know, either some issue of character, plot, setting, something like that. And this is just like a small collection of books. But the first one I got was actually this 2K to 10K, and it was this book is pretty much floating around a lot during Nano, and it's just like how to get in the zone of writing. This one is a newer one that I've gotten, the Emotion Thesaurus, and that's been helpful for revision and more detailed line-by-line writing. I probably wouldn't use that during Nano. The Plot Whisperer, same thing. I wouldn't use it during Nano. I got this one in December. It's usually on sale in December, right after Nano, and there's December Plotmo, where you sort of work on your plot. So I read it, but it's pretty intensive. So that's a very intense book. This is just Ksenia Ansky's Blue Sparrow, her tweets on writing, where she collected her tweets. Let's see. This one, Conflict and Suspense. This is very good on a scene level. If you want to add more, it really helps you think of scenes, and it also helps you add to your villain, you know, whatever your villain is. Even if you're writing contemporary, there is some sort of conflict usually, but it's helpful for villains as well. Plot and Structure, excellent book on plotting. You can hear my daughter yelling in the background. I hope not. Everyone having a Monday day. Don't we love tweens? And let's see, Plot and Structure. Yeah, that one's very good if you want to get that for Nano. It was on sale last Nano. It's not on sale this time, but they do put out a lot of writing books on sale, ebooks on sale for $1.99 sometime in the middle of November. Amazon does that. And let's see. So that one would be a good one. Story Engineering, excellent book. I did use this a lot. That's another one I got on sale for $1.99 last Nano. And I think they're going to have, it came out on sale like sometime in the middle of November. They put a bunch of them on sale. And this one was excellent. This helped me do a post-it note plot. I didn't specifically talk about post-it note plots. I learned that in a book, which I'll get to in a minute, but it did actually help me a lot. You could try this with Scrapple, not Scrapple, Scapple, which is Scrivener, Scapple. Oh, they make that hard to say. And that you can get a trial version of that, and it's just like their Scrivener trial version, where when you open it, it counts as a day. It's not it's a non-consecutive 30-day free trial of Scapple, and it was pretty fun. I did it for about an hour, but I do like post-it notes because I'm a little bit more tactile that way. This one I just got like in the last month, so I can't really say how good that one was. The Virgin's Promise. This is the female, not female, but sort of female, as far as a fairy tale female version of Joseph Campbell's myth series about the hero's journey. This would be the Virgin's Promise, would be like the Virgin's Journey. It's sort of it's kind of a, it's pretty heavy hitting as far as like reading it and everything, but it is very interesting as far as like what the various fairy tale plot points are. Let's see, Character, Emotion, and Viewpoint. This is a really good book. I think I read it really quickly last Nano. It was another one that was on sale. I can't even remember what it was about, but it does talk briefly about some things. I know I used it, but I just can't remember exactly what it was about. This one, let's see, Holly Lyle, she's pretty well known for having several writing courses and revision courses. I haven't done any of her courses. I read this book pretty quickly. It's just like a 99-cent book on Amazon, and it's just sort of introduction to her thought process and stuff. Donald Mast, this is an excellent book. Very, very helpful for thinking up scenes that you might be missing, or adding to scenes that you already have, but just making them better. This was another book that I did use during Nano. Let's see. This one was a very quick ebook. It says 30 tips for NaNoWriMo. This is where I got the post-it note thing, and I did my first 2 post-it note outlines this way, which is really helpful for thinking of scenes. Sometimes in Nano, what you're really just missing is plot. You're just missing some scenes, and that helps you develop your scenes that way. This one is just talking about deep point of view. I didn't really use that for Nano. That's more of a revision thing in a writing technique type of thing. This one I just got, and then this is the one I'm reading right now, and I'm using it also for revision, where it talks about specific techniques. I'm really enjoying that one, actually. I recommend that one if you're looking for what your writing is missing. But don't do that during Nano. Don't think about that. Just write. This one I really used also with my plot outline during Nano. This is always $2.99, I think, on there, and it's screenwriting tricks for authors. There's a lot of different plotting techniques. This one is in four parts. The middle, the traditional structure is 3 parts. So this one splits the middle part into 2 parts, which is what they do for film. So this would be 4 parts. So all of my outlines are in 4 parts. I did actually take screenwriting classes in college, so I learned the 4-part outline in college. And so this one is sort of like, I know it, so it's easier for me to do. And some people feel like when you do the 3-part outline that you might be making your beginning and your end, Act 1 and Act 3, a bit too long for what they should be. So if you think about it in 4 parts, you get a better grasp that the middle can be divided up into 2 different acts. So it's a 4-act structure, I guess. I don't know why I'm saying parts. But anyway, that's just something to think about if you're worried about, plot and structure and stuff. Really, it had also some helpful prompts in it. I filled up almost a whole notebook doing this book. So this one I highly recommend. It's quite dense, a lot of prompts at the beginning that are fun to do. Things like it makes you list your favorite villains from movies and your favorite endings from movies. So it helped me a lot with villains endings. That got me through like a week and a half or more of NaNoWriMo, just adding new scenes. So if you need to add new scenes, I highly recommend this book. Outlining your novel, I read this one after I've read so many. This is a good basic one if you want to do plotting. Like I said, I read it after I'd read so many other plotting books that it wasn't as helpful. Chuck Wendig, this is a 99-cent book, and it's always 99-cent, I think. He's very dirty. He has bad language. He's just come out with a new book, actually, today, called The Kick-Ass Writer, and it's cleaner. He takes out the F word and stuff, so if you want something cleaner, he does have some stuff out as of today, where he's gone through all his writing books and cleaned them up a little bit, as far as language, and I think the content's still not safe for work, as he says. But read him after you've read all the other basic books, because he's more like for fun. He does 25 lists of writing tips. He's really smart about it, and you know, you can read one list and come up and just write. He focuses on writing your story better, more entertaining, more subtext, more thought process on it. So read it after Nano. Don't use it for Nano unless you just want to read something funny. But like I said, the way I do writing is I read a little bit and then I write. I click right over from my Kindle for PC, which is what I'm recording this on, and click right over to Scrivener. So I don't sit and read the whole book. I space it out and use it as a prompt. Okay, here's his other books, and I think he's got 5 out right now. I've got 4 of them. So I've read all of these books throughout the year, like one section at a time. Like I said, he does a list of 25 things. So I've read these. I spread them out because I love them. They're really good. Don't use them for Nano. I wouldn't, unless you just are really curious. And they're also on his blog, so you can go on his blog and just read if you want to see what he's like. But like I said, he has bad language, but except for that book that came out now. But I highly recommend him. I'm sort of in love with his writing books because they're just entertaining. They're not dry at all. They're funny. They're more entertaining almost than they are, but some of them are really smart though. His advice. So I'll skip down to Rock Your Plot. I got that one this summer for Camp NaNoWriMo, and that was another good basic plotting book. It did help me because I had plotted after NaNoWriMo for December Plotmo, and then I kind of forgot about it. So when I went back to my work for July, I had to sort of rethink everything because I had changed a lot of things. So this helped me just go through really quickly. This is probably one of the easiest plot books you'll find, which is just basics. So if you want something that's fast, if you don't like reading a lot about plot, just go through this one and it'll check off all the plot points that you need for your book. And this is especially important in genre fiction, to have your plot down. Not necessarily in literary fiction, where you can have a looser plot. Okay, Rock Your Revisions this is the same series as this one. She also has a new book out on Amazon where it's Write Every Day. So you might want to check that one out. Either 2K to 10K, which is the very first book I showed you, or her new book, Kathy Yardley's new book, Write Every Day, in this series, the Rock Your Revision series. This one I'm used for revisions. This was again a very basic how to do revisions book when I was struggling after July Nano, like how am I going to do revisions. This one helped me out a lot, and I think that's the end. Yeah. So good luck with Nano. Check out some of these books and use them as prompts. If you really want to do a big 10K day, I suggest you set aside a day or 8 hours and go online to follow. There's Susan Dennard, the author of, what is it, Something Strange and Lovely? Yeah, Something Strange and Deadly, that book. She does writing prompts on there. I think they're under Banff Word Battles. Friday Night Writes, which is FRI Night Writes, they do word battles. NaNoWriMo Sprints does word word battle.